Hello and welcome again to Steve's Long Stay Repair Workshop. Now, there are two types of engineers out there. There are engineers who only fix stuff they can fix without any trouble, and there are those who like challenges. Guess what sort I am, if you don't know already. This is, shall we say, a challenge. I don't know quite who made it. I think it's homemade, this actually. But it's that I can sort out. Yeah, the paper I can get off there relatively easily as well. But in the back there is one of these. This lot and this. Now this particular radio appears to have the have one of those as well as the transformer, the wires hanging off and all sorts. This is what many people would call a mess. Now, for that reason, I would immediately go, oh great, because it's different from whatever was there before. Yeah. Now I don't know who is exactly who made this, but that is to say that there are certainly issues with it, quite a few in fact, you know. So I'm not going to plug this one in for a while, shall we say, but at some point I will. And underneath it, big capacitors. No IFT, so this is therefore a TRF radio of one form or another, which means therefore that it probably needs one more. I don't know what it is, but these 50 L6 GT, that's it. That looks like it's the input valve. Basically, what we do at this stage is we go through and we find out exactly what does need doing. Probably quite a lot here actually. This is, like I said, it looks like it's one of these little radios which somebody has tried and failed to do. And so let's finish it. This lot, by the way, came from Radiophile auctions. It's lot 126 at some shades. So let's have a look and see what we've got here, shall we? Because it's quite big, whatever it is. Hmm. 35 watt, 25 watt. That looks like a rectifier. That looks like an 8-port valve. And 6SK, 6S7 and 6J7 according to that. Now, with things like this, that it seems to have been drawn on there, but this is printed. Although this radio apparently appears to be a moderately simple radio, like every simple radio, when it's been put to bed with like this, It is not a simple radio anymore. This is one of those, you know. Interesting, actually, the 25Y5 actually has both the rectifiers inside it in parallel here. 25A6, yeah. So it's 6K7, 6J7, 25A6, 25Y5. Okay, that's what it says there anyway. Okay, anyway, well, I'll keep that handy just in case. I think we might well need that, and we'll look and find out what. I think that's 6J7G, 6J7G, 6J7. Okay, fine. Something this size, anyway. In some ways, I'm quite glad actually, because it goes that one. Okay, fine. So that goes into there. Okay. Okay. This one is a 50L6. That looks as though we might need another one of those actually. And 25Y5 and 6K7 as well. Okay, so it's 6K7, 6J7. Okay, so we know more or less what this beautifully made piece of equipment needs. Yeah, I was a bit sarcastic there, I know. But we don't just go in and do two things here. One, we don't, which is rare for me, I know, just plug it in. We just don't. Okay. Now that looks to me as though it's okay. Okay. It doesn't say whether it's 24 or 24, 240 or 120 volts. Because if it's 110, then the things we need to change. Yeah, it's 240 or thereabouts. Okay, fine. That's okay. Although it's loose. So get the meter, and we start by doing a few checks because, well, we need to basically. So first of all, okay, it goes from there, no, I'll start with that fuse. That's okay, fine, okay, right. That's something, I suppose. Okay, right. So that's okay. So that must go to the on-off switch, wherever it is wherever it is on this beautiful radio. So yeah. Anyway, so if I was put my glasses on now, because I'm getting old, and we're going a bit closer. And we'll see if we can get this a lovely little radio to work. So start with one of these up here. more of them down there and see if it's and see what resistance we get from there to there. That's okay, okay, fine. Obviously needs some help, does this. So from there to there, okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. And this one here doesn't go anywhere. Okay, not to worry. So yeah, I don't know what that is there, but we need to sort it. So first thing, so that's okay. That's okay. I'll just tighten that up a bit if I can, otherwise it'll go everywhere and might break. So we'll try and pull that down a bit. Or not, as the case may be. Okay. Right, anyway, so 50 L6 GT. Well, pulling off there for now, doesn't it? Okay, fine. Well, we'll that can come off there for now. Right, and those this output transformer seem to be okay. If it's not, then we've got to find one of those before we do anything else. Well, no, you know what I mean. So that goes on to there, like, put one. I've lost my little thing that goes on the end of here, so I'm struggling a bit without it. So if anyone's got one, then yes, please. Okay. This has got some of that stuff on the side, you know, that makes these things hard to check. You know, the one and stuff. In which case, this is probably okay. I'll leave that for now. We'll come back to that as and when. Okay. Now, because it is a resistive receiver here, that means that all four of these valves have to be of the same current. Okay. If we're a transformer rather than one of those, they have to be the same voltage. And also the thing is that in this situation, also, that was horrible. Also, it's these will be wired in series rather than in parallel. So that's something else as well. Now, Now, I don't think I've got, no, I haven't got one of those valves, so I might do something like put a diode in its place. I know I shouldn't, but I shouldn't, you know, but I'm going to, because I want to see if this thing will actually work. Before we go any further, the next thing what I want to do is take these out and check them, make sure that they are actually of a suitable heater voltage and current. And also, first of all, we need to know that the heaters in these actually are okay. So yeah, but now they're 50L6 and what was it again, a 6J7G. Okay, that is a bit a more taller version of 6J7GT. But anyway, first thing we do, these, by the way, they're all operate right in the same sort of a way. So what we do is we get that one like that. And that one like that. That one's okay. Well, the heater's okay anyway, so that one can go back for now. Okay. I'll put it back where it was, just to and this one is a 6J7 and the same applies. So again, and so that one too must go back as well in one seat or another. I'll put it in that one for now. Okay, so they're okay. That looks to be okay. Now with these sort of jobs, one thing which you must have on these is a plan of attack. Okay, it's very important that you do. Yeah. Now, any radio of this type, or any radio which you don't know anything about whatsoever, you need to know first of all what you're aiming for. What we're aiming for here is obviously a working radio. That's pretty obvious. Pretty plain, that. So okay, so what to do there. Now that I might well actually decide to do away with, because this is one thing about these that always makes me feel nervous in these radios, is that they do tend to create a lot of heat. And if you create lots of heat in a valve radio, this can in fact generate more heat than the valves themselves. Now, seeing as I'm building this almost from scratch, I'm going to modify it depending on what I've got, what I have got, and what we can do anything with. Okay. If it's going to be a diode under there, then it's 6, 6 and 50, okay? And nothing else. Won't be another 25 there. Not that it matters because that's a 50, but we can check on that anyway. So now this comes off here. If it wants to, it's going to anyway, you know. Actually, this looks well, reasonable under here, so you know you can probably do something with it. Yeah, okay, fair enough, mate. Yeah. Yes, okay. Right, well, first thing we'll do here is decide how we're going to operate it. Now, first thing we're going to do here is put a decent cable on it, okay? And that cable means that this is going to come off here, like this. Because with radios of this kind, in the good old days, how you plugged it in determined whether the chassis was live or not. Now, we can't have a live chassis these days. We just can't. And what's more, here, looking at this, if you look here, you see, it goes from there to the negative of this can here. What, this is live. And so I think we better start again with that, don't you? Oh well, all good clean fun. All good clean fun, whatever that means. All good clean fun with it. Some very interesting soldering, but yeah. Right, okay. I'll see if we can loosen those knobs a bit as well. That's off, okay. That's on. You loosened that up quite well. There we are. That one's okay. The wave change switch we'll come to in a minute. And we need with these actually, quite often, what I do with these actually is I don't put on a drive belt. I put on a small rubber belt because it'll do perfectly well. That's a little tip for those people who do some interesting things. First of all, that came off. Do it like that. And this is a home-built radio because all the wires underneath are the same colour. Now, this can lead to confusion, both with the bloke building it, or lady, you don't know, and of course the people who are after repairing it. In my case, me. So we need to know from that exactly what it's going to be. So anyway, yes, it's going to be interesting, shall we say. But that doesn't cause us any problems. Okay? I hope it doesn't anyway. Now, first of all, this was wired so that the the live was meant to go to chassis. I'm not having that under any circumstance whatsoever. I am not having that. The answer to that is a resounding no. And so for that reason, I'm going to change this radio and we'll do it the other way around. Okay? And also, I'm going to make sure that these and that valve, okay, I'm going to find out what they are, and of course what sort of capacitive dropper could go in its place. I've got the capacity to do that, and it's a lot more safe than what other people around here have said this thing ought to have done to it. Don't know where that goes at all. It's here. Okay, fine. Yes, I think somebody got very confused here. Very confused. So, with that in mind, I think we do this, like I said, in stages. So I shall now go online and find out 6 and 6 and 50 we've got here. Yeah. If they work. 650, it's 62 volts. Okay. Now coming in is 240 volts or 230. Yeah. So the rest of it has to be dropped by either capacitor or something like that, which will get hot as hell. So I think capacitor is the way to go, don't you? Well, first of all, I've taken out that big dropper resistor. I fitted a lead, the right way around, by the way. That said the chassis was live. I don't want the chassis live. Believe it or not, the live from the chassis was actually coloured red. I got this, so that had to be sorted. You know, there's no ifs or buts. That had to be. Like I said, the next thing I'm going to do is sort out the resistor for, and the valve, by the way, 650 L6 GT and 12 S7, I think it is, hang on, it's 12 J7 and 12 K7, okay, not 8, so those two together make around 75 volts, okay. The mains coming in is a little bit more than that, so I need to find a suitable capacitor to go in there to make that suitable for these valves. That's the next thing. I've put 2 wires up on the front of the chassis here, where first of all the mains in will go, which is up here, where these two, and the other one of course is going to the valves. That's these 3 here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is get the valves to light up, nothing else, just the valves. Then I'll start on the 8T side of it. What I've got here now, with it plugged in, is 3 valves and a capacitive dropper. The capacitive dropper drops from 240 volts or thereabout down to about 79. It should be 75, but 4 volts, we can live with that. That's with that. So what I'll do, I will look at what that is and come up with something better than that. But that is now working okay. So the valve heaters are now fine. So the LT is up. Now, of course, the HT side of it, which is the side which, yeah. So now, so first of all, this thing I'm going to do is look at this here. Okay, this is the output transformer here, and also I'm going to be looking very closely indeed under here. If you look under there like that, you see everything is the same colour like I said before, which means that this is going to be an interesting job. Now I've got diodes for the up to the AT side of it, and the first diode goes via a resistor of 100k or so to here. Okay, so I'll put that diode in, and we'll take it from there, as it were. But I want to find out first of all what things like that are as well, because I don't actually know. I don't know. So now it's a case of getting the 50L6 working. I'm taking this here. Now this side of it, I think it's got those wires which they put that stuff on in to make it difficult for meter probes to work on. So I'll check and make sure that that's okay as well. Yeah, and of course from there we got this here, and one side of this goes to the anode of the 25. Well, it's now 50L6 GT, and the other side of it goes basically diode, one capacitor to deck, resistor, another capacitor to deck. Looking at this here, yeah, okay, yeah, so it's diode, one capacitor to deck, a 10k resistor, I think that is actually, I'll check that, and from there we go to the second grid of this valve here. But first of all, I think we'll sort out what the way it should be compared to what it is down here. There might not be a difference, but there might be a difference. So that's our next port of call. Well, first of all, the output of this is fine. As you can hear there, I've got leads on there. It's this wire, but it's okay. That's fine. So with that fine, the output fine, which it normally is on these anyway, we go to the input side of it. Now the input side of this transformer goes from the diode out, goes from the diode, which it isn't in, to something else. So it's yeah, is it there? Is it there? But that looks terrible. That really does. Dire that. Anyway, yes. So yes. So first of all, I'm going to take a look at God, that's dire that. Anyway, we'll look at that later on. Okay, now it goes from there, which looks as though it's been soldered by somebody who's more blind than me, if that's possible. So that goes on to there, like that. Okay, not touching anything, no good. And it also goes to, where's the other end of it? The other end of it, okay. Goes here, okay, so that goes on to there like that. No, actually, no, we can probably do without actually. To there. And that's 300 ohms, I think, is it? Let's check that and make sure. There we are, 300 ohms. Okay, 400, that'll do. So output transformer is okay. Thanks to Jay at Jay's Vintage Junk, I now have one of these things. And that tells me that that radio is trying to draw a lot of current that it shouldn't be drawing. Because if it wasn't, it's my point, I pull that out, it goes off. Okay. If I were to put that back into circuit now, the lights in here will go out. So yeah, anyway, so that means that somewhere along the line here there is a short circuit. Now short circuits in a set like this, they could be anywhere. I mean literally anywhere. So get the meter, okay. That goes to deck like that. That goes to deck again, like that. Again, like that. And now we have a loop round and find out. Okay, it's not that, okay, fine. It's okay up to there, okay. So therefore, it could be that diode actually. I'll check and maybe put something bigger in. But in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll whip that diode out of circuit, and then we'll try again. And like before, the valves should come up, so I'll whip that out like that. Like that, and we'll see what happens with it now. Okay, so if I now do that, the valve heaters will come up. With this off here, and I'll find out what that diode is or was, and we'll find out if that's the problem. Very likely to be, actually, very likely to be. So if that now comes back on again like that, there should be DC on the other end of there. Which there isn't, is it any AC on the end of it? Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's that diode. Now I've put the transformer, one half of it into the circuit, and the other half of it is fed to the meter here, which goes to deck, measuring DC. So if I now plug it in like that, there's a little bit of a flash there. That's the schematics is charging up, and you'll see there that it's working that far. Okay, bit of good fortune there, I think, in one form or another. So now, of course, we'll put the other bit of it on to the valve itself. The power supply is in and working. I put two diodes in because one on its own didn't seem to take the load, so I put two in. I'm going to get a bigger diode to go in there. But at this point, therefore, if I'm just going to plug it in with the bobine circuit, like so, and wait for it to warm up, I'll do that. It should have, at some point, here it is. There we go. We go from that. We know that the first stage is working. That buzz I don't know about, quite frankly. I mean, these caps are okay, so I don't know about that just yet. I'll look into that some stage. But for now, I think the next thing we need to think about is the voltages on the output valve here. 2 to 8 volts and 190. Okay, that's more or less all right. So we knock that off very quickly and put that back on. Just the safekeeping, and find out which pin the anode of that is. It's pin number 8, which is there. Okay. And it goes it's there actually. It goes down here. I think I'll just check that. Yeah, pin 7 on that. The heater, that's okay, and pin 8 goes down here. So if we put this thing back on again, no, we'll do it another way. With the system off, there should be a resistance, a relatively small resistance between there and deck. Five hundred ohms, okay. The circuit here with that circuit, it is 400, so that'll do. So that's now as regards the extra hum, it could be the valve itself. I've got one, there's no problem there. It could be the fact that I've taken out this valve here, this resistor here, and I took that out because it was doing all sorts of unpleasant things. Well, now that the audio pentode is running okay, down to here, which I've disconnected for now, the next thing we're going to look at is the next valve along. The next valve along is a 6S7. I changed that for a 12S7 because it's, well, all I had really. And then of course I found out that the one that I had was a Q7, so I went into stock, and guess what I found? A 6S7, I hope. So that is here, and I'm going to quickly put that aside for now. And before I put anything in, I'm going to look through and make sure we know that all the pins for it are right, because if they're not, and we put the valve in, it might do something nasty. So I think the next thing we do is make sure that it can't. is it 6J7, sorry, has been replaced by a 12J7, and the pins are as follows. One is a connection which is apparently not used. Okay, that's fine. Number 2 is the heater. We know that's okay. Number 3 is the anode, which again should be okay. So that check. So it should go down here. It does, okay. So that one, so that, and of course it should go to here as well, which it's isn't doing. Okay, fair enough. I have to correct that. Okay, no worries. 4 is G1 on here. Okay. Yeah. G2, of course. Is it G2? That is. G2 goes of course back up to the line by a 1 meg resistor, which it doesn't. It goes to capacitor to there. If that's 1 meg, then I'll check that and see. But otherwise, and also it goes to a 50 microfarad 12 volt, which is probably going to be this here, which goes to deck. Okay, so we're looking at no, it doesn't, sorry. It goes to deck and it goes to power supply, so that goes to the power supply. So I'll check that and make sure that's okay. Okay, next along is D3. D3 and the cathode are the same. This appears to be on here. The cathode is pin number 8, and that looks to be going to deck via a 50 microfarad capacitor, and let's find out where that goes. Okay, well, it goes to there. Okay. Okay, so that goes to that capacitor, and across it there should be a resistor, which there doesn't seem. It's here. Is that one? Which goes there. Okay, to deck as well. Okay, no worries. I think I know where that goes. Okay. 6, of course. No connection. 7 is the heater. Okay. So we know what it should be, and we know what it is. So next thing we do is put the connections right on this and check them. Always check them, because you never know. I make mistakes too, a lot of them. So always check your work. Well, with the valve in, it lights up fine, but there's no HT now. There's no HT because the 2 diodes I put in suddenly went bang. I don't know why. I'll check that out thoroughly again. But I'm going to get some more powerful diodes to put in there. So that's the next trick to do. And then I will put the top cap on here, and we'll see what it does, if anything. I am now very, very nervous indeed. This lovely radio here, I've put new capacitors, new splitters in higher value. I've put a more powerful diode in. I changed that 10k resistor as well, and power was given to all the valves on here. And so let's see what happens. This could be very fun or very nasty, this. So let's see what happens. It's on the bulb, obviously, for obvious reasons. So that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so that is okay as regards audio. There we go. Take that off. Okay, right. Okay, well, that tells us that the audio side of it, including the 6J7, appears to be okay. Now, in this case, also, what happens is that the audio from the 6J7 should also demodulate as well. So if I put this back on here, and maybe solder it, and see if it'll think about doing something really interesting, like, you know, working. Again, I'll put it on the links just for various reasons. I'll take it off for a second just to warm the heaters up a bit. It's a bit better actually, that. Okay, well, I'll put that back on, and I'll also get some knobs for the front so I can adjust various things and see what happens here. You know, because half of it is working, but this bit here and underneath is probably where faults will be on this. So I will never know if it isn't actually doing anything really nasty. I'll look again at it in more detail. This, by the way, this is an RF amp. Now at this stage, I found that the grid of this valve, the 6J7, was being forced to deck. Now there are two cables connected to it. One goes to one half of the smoothing cap, and one half goes to the chassis. So we find out which is which, like that, like that. And this one comes down here. That one, right, okay, that one comes down here to there. Okay, right. So therefore, like I said, I'll get a knob and I'll turn that back and forth a bit and see if it is present on one or the other. But I think this switch has been incorrectly wired, quite frankly. But we'll check. Now, to check that, goes to there, and there, and there. There's like different types of them. Okay, now where are they on the circuit, I wonder? Oh, fine, they both go to chassis through coils. Well, this is the circuit of the radio in question here. This lot has been completely changed actually. That dropper is gone and it's been replaced by a capacitive dropper, as you know. So that has gone. Okay, so it's that's been replaced by capacitors. Okay, that valve has gone too because I haven't got one and I'm not paying for one for this. So what I've done is I've replaced it at the end with 1N5405, and these capacitors have been changed to 100 microfarads. Now it might seem strange that, but the fact is that it will in fact work slightly better like that because it's not got that. So anyway, so that's okay. That's okay. That's the tow control. It's out of circuit right now because, believe it or not, that was actually going to deck. So it didn't actually do a lot of good. The valves, by the way, it's 50 L6 GT. Yeah, okay. That's that one, yeah. This one is now a 12J7, and that there is a 12K7. Okay. Now, one thing which they get asked here is where is the diode? Because there isn't one. Well, there is actually. This valve operates as the audio preamp, and it's very good at that actually in this case. And also it's biased so that the RF is half on, half off. So in a way, it takes off half of it. So it goes from RF to rectified, and then of course the capacitor goes in to take it to deck, and of course that's it. That works there. This lot here, switch wafer, medium wave and long wave on this, which is quite rare for one of these actually. From here, okay, that's an RF amplifier basically. So that's basically how it works now. In this case, what I've got now is that the top cap there goes to that one or that one, yeah. That one or that one, which goes to deck. So maybe it's not actually in the way it is. Okay. So next thing we do is have a closer look at those and find out if they both go to pin number. Which one it is actually here. Because they go to deck down here, okay, and the other end of them, well, basically it's the other half of them, by the way, go go to 2 and 3 here, which goes to the H2 line. So I'll check that as well, and from there we'll find out whether it's yeah, that, by the way, those go to the anode here, again to the switch. So we'll check that as well. Okay, now I don't know what circuit this is. I really don't. That's the top here, that's the aerial there, 500, and I don't know where that's going actually. Again, it goes to switch. This wire's coming out here, so I assume that goes to the aerial. I'll check that and make sure. A1 and A2, of course, on the diagram are the other 2 coils. That's missing, obviously. And these are valves, and of course the on these actually quite often what I do is put a drive belt in place, something like that, because it's easier and quicker basically. So A1 and A2 coil, if we go back over here, it's here. Okay, they go to deck obviously, and to the area which is on pin number 10. Okay, so that's one half of it. Now the other half, if I just turn the circuit so we can have a look. There we are. Again, that valve is no longer there. Okay, that valve is no longer there. These are the new ones. Okay, and there's some wiring on it. I don't know exactly how accurate that is, but that's the circuit. And the other bit of it here, a bit missing actually, is a bit about putting it together and trimming it, which I might actually go and do later on. Chassis is live and no earth connecting should be made. Yeah, that is and is not a problem because with sets like this, now I always make sure that the chassis is linked to neutral. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The chassis is always linked to neutral, but still be careful when you touch things like this, because you know you never know for sure. That's one thing with this sort of stuff. You never know for sure quite what is going on. In some cases, maybe that's for the best. Just sometimes, maybe that is for the best. So these 2 other coils in question, and I'll goes here, and that goes to there, and so I'll check both those coils. Okay, they will be very lucky for them both to be gone. Very lucky indeed for that. So, but these are the one part of it. The 2 things why is missing on the top, by the way. So I'll find out where they go as well and put them back in place. When with this lot right, we should, I hope, get something. I hope. We're nearly ready to try this again. First of all, I've put that tuner, I've put a belt on, like I said, and it works very well actually. They've been put back okay. I've not done that yet because I want to try and find a way of doing that better than what I had before. And besides, I hope that at some point I'll be able to get a valve with the top cap intact as well. Underneath, it's its usual self. You know, it's they are okay. Hang on, they're okay, by the way. I checked them, they're fine. Other ones on top. Now, those among you who are experts might have noticed that there doesn't seem to be a connection to grid 3. It's internal, okay, not on the circuit, but it's internal, okay. So if we look at the circuit again, there you go, you see that one there. There's no actual suppressor grid. It's done internally. So grid 3 and the cathode are linked internally, so that's perfectly okay to go in there without any more trouble, I hope. So that's the next thing. So now, what I'll do now, I will go and I will get some knobs, because I don't want to do too much on this without knobs in place, because I might need them basically. So I'll get some of those, and we'll try it, and we'll see what happens. By the way, that lead there is the aerial connection, and I've linked it to the signal generator. In this situation here now, I've actually got something more sensible to it, shall we say. That's the audio oscillator there, okay? The cathode resistor was high at 34K, okay? And the resistor, that is the capacitor, was down here, big old thing. So it's there were a circuit. Still, this is now that is out of the circuit. Well, I'll leave that because it's not touching anything, not doing anything, so it can stay there. But I'll put in a new capacitor and resistor and try again. Okay. Now, in this point, I think that this 12J7, which I found, obviously isn't too happy with life, so I might need to go and find another. Six J7 has been replaced again. They're been connected, and also the output transformer gave up the ghost, so I put another one on. Now, which is doing something. What I don't know, that the hum seems to have completely gone now. It does seem to have something there, as we can hear, but what it is, I don't really know, but it appears to be doing something. I don't know if you'll hear it, but the very faint speech there, so something is getting through. Well, there was. No, it's back now. Okay, fine. Definitely got some speech there, but very, very, very quiet. So we have something. It seems actually to be happy with me using aerial, but that isn't really possible. So I think the next thing we do is go onto there and see what that is. Now it's basically time to get a station on it, which might be easier said than done, but we will try. It does appear to be working. But we don't know for sure what it's picking up at the moment. Thank you very much, Jay, for testing the valves for me. I've got them back in the set now, but we found out that the 12SK7 has got a problem with grid cathode leakage. I think it's cathode, well, grid cathode and cathode heater voltage anyway, so that's a problem. And also it appears to be gassy, I think, because when I switch on from cold, it doesn't give much audio, but the audio it does give is okay, but after a few minutes it isn't. So I've tried one or two of the valves in its place, and an SK7, you know, even a 12K8, which does now. Of course, it's the wrong sort of valve, that's why. So what's to try that, you know. So yeah, so it's so looking for 12SK7 or something similar to go there. Meanwhile, of course, the other thing we've got to look at is the cabinet, because the cabinet, as you can see here, the cabinet. Now here is the new cloth and the wooden base. Yeah, leave that to dry overnight and come back to it tomorrow. I'll put it in the case, leave that while I look for a valve. I attached the new cloth to the speaker base. The speaker base there, it's actually set all with glue. So there you are. Looks, well, rather better, doesn't it? So anyway, with that nicely done and out of the way down there, if we go back to this, and the problem here is that the 12K6 or 12K7, I've got one on order, but as it stands, this set is okay apart from that. Okay, it makes some very interesting noises. There it is with the speaker cloth added as well, and there we are. It's got in and it's worked. It works just okay. Uh, Obviously it needs the 12K6, but there's one on the way. So this is really as far as we can go with this. I will finish it, and when I finish it, you of course will get to know pretty quickly, because of course I want to see it working. This, by the way, is a TRF set, which is why it was interesting to tune. Also, by the way, on this set, they've got a 6J, well 12J now, 12J7 and 12K7. When we were looking at them, B and J, testing them, one thing which we did notice was that they had very similar settings, because they are in fact very similar valves, J and K. One is an RF pentode, one is a very mu RF pentode. What's the difference, I hear you say? Well, the difference is that the very mu one, which is, I think, I don't know it off the top of my head, I'm sorry. I think the J or the K, I don't know, is what's called a very mu pentode, and it's one where the gain of the pentode varies with the signal that goes into it. Okay, this set doesn't have AFC or anything like that, but that's how they work. And the J and the K7, what it does is it actually means that really a shorter area than the one I've had this linked to should be required. So but when that comes, I will put it in and we'll try again. But everything else in this looks okay, so I'm quite surprised that it wasn't actually working as it should. It's only 3 valve set now. The rectifier, there's a funny valve which I've not got, and so I placed it with a diode, and also because of that, the 16 microfarad capacitors have been replaced with 100 because of dark handling. So the smoothing on this is now better than it was. Anyway, that's what it goes for now, and I will look at this again in the near future, like as soon as the valve comes. But until then, this is Steve at Steve's Long Stay Workshop, not with the radio switched on for once, and I'll be back with this one very soon, because I want to get this working, because I'm like that. Bye bye.